Hello, welcome to Smiling in the Dark, the podcast where we, your resident smilers, stay up late, unlock the front door, turn off the lights, and smile our way through the horrors. One theme, one subgenre, and one sleepless night at a time. I'm Adam.
I'm Rose.
This opening season, we're going to be focusing on the films that invented some of our favourite horror subgenres. Last week, we covered The Evil Dead and The Birth of the Cabin in the Woods horror films. In the coming weeks, we'll look at genres such as body horror with The Fly, found footage horror with The Blair Witch Project. But this week, we look at the cosmic horror genre.
Cosmic,
yeah. So Ross, let's smile in the dark and talk about John Carpenter's cult classic, The Thing. Oh, Ross, how are you this week?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm a little bit sniffy with the old hay fever, but apart from that, I'm magic. I'm sorry for the late transition there. I was actually at my helicopter shooting at huskies running through the snow, so it's a little bit late, sorry.
Excellent. And how did you enjoy The Thing?
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed The Thing. So much so that I am actually gutted that I left it to yesterday to watch it, because I'd watched it more than once.
Okay.
But I sometimes get a little bit obsessive. You'd be shocked to hear that. And I just feel like I wish there was 10 more. Even if there were remakes of the same thing over and over again, I just want more of The Thing.
Nice.
What about you?
Really enjoyed it. It's really good fun. I think the story is engaging enough. It draws you in pretty early on, and then there's plenty going on as you go through the film. Some of it, which I'll get to when I give my opinions, is a wee bit scattergun. I think in some of the theories and things like that that people are coming up with, but I think it all works because you're talking about a bunch of guys that are in isolation and they're maybe not expected to make the most rational decisions as you're going through things. They're suffering from that isolation and a bit of that sort of cabin fever type feeling.
Yeah.
And I just found it really good fun. It's just a really good fun film.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say special effects. The practical effects are a huge part of the fun. For me, it's thrilling, I would say, to see effects like that, and not see cheap CG, which we'll probably talk about if we get round to talking about the prequel from 2011. But yeah, seeing Kurt Russell playing the character that he's playing and sort of take charge. He's a helicopter pilot, isn't he? So
yeah,
you wouldn't have expected him to take charge in that situation. But it's not too alpha male, but it's also not he's not being upstaged by the scientists or the doctors or whatever as well.
Yeah. So we're 1982, I think here. Directed by John Carpenter, who we have watched Halloween by previously. And starring Kurt Russell, as you mentioned. I'll give what is a really brief synopsis.
Excuse me, I think you're missing a co-star. You're missing Keith David, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm legend, Keith David.
Sorry for disrespecting Keith David. I'll give the really brief synopsis that barely scratches the surface of what's going on here. A research team in Antarctica is haunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims. That's all you get. Yeah.
And that is it. That's as simple as it gets.
That is it. I'll kind of start walking us through where we're at, but you're never this film starts with a helicopter and a pilot and a gunman going through Antarctica. All you can see really around you is snow, and trying to shoot at a husky. If you want to just become immediate heel in a film. The
Shoot
bad
at
guy.
a dog.
Like, you can't be shooting at a dog. Like, now obviously for the intro, we don't really know what's going on here. We're just thinking, poor dog. This seems totally out of order. We are getting the Huskies just running. The gunman can't hit it.
That is like the definition of running for your life, that poor dog.
Yeah. We get a pop-up telling us we're at the United States National Institute Station 4.
Nice.
And as the shooting's going on the outside, we've got just a bunch of guys just killing some time. You get I think there's some guys playing table tennis and various bits and pieces like that. We get the star of the film. I'm not meaning to throw any disrespect on Keith David, but
outrageous.
The star of the film playing a kind of computer chess.
Yes, chess master.
That's on the go. And he's enjoying a little drink, and he's a bit annoyed that this computer chess has him beat, and he just basically blows the whole thing up.
Hold on. Think about that. What do you think about foreshadowing here? Do you think that's a bit of foreshadowing?
It hadn't really crossed my mind.
No. McCready, R.J. McCready, T.J. McCready, I was going to say R.J. McCready, played by Kurt Russell, engaging in a battle with Chessmaster. He can't win, so instead he blows it all up. Okay, I got you. How'd you like them apples for a bit of foreshadowing?
I like them. Yeah, it hadn't crossed my mind, but I think you make a very valid point.
Thanks.
We are going to see the helicopter land. The people at the American Institute are going to go outside. They're still trying to shoot the dog. The dog runs towards the American team. I'm just going to have to refer to them by nationality here. And the Norwegian, one of them, I think, is got like a little grenade, drops it in the snow. I think it must be the pilot that gets out and tries to cover it in the snow, and then there's an explosion.
Is that what he was trying to do? That makes a lot more sense. I thought he was like trying to throw his body on it.
Yeah, I think he tries to cover it in snow. And the one with the gun is still trying to shoot the dog, shoots one of the American team, and gets shot and killed himself for his troubles.
So the Norwegian guy, the Norwegian guy that is shouting naturally in Norwegian. I wonder if they're oh no, is it Liverpool fans that tend to be Norwegian or Danish?
Is
it? Is it? Anyway, he's actually shouting in Norwegian. Translated, that is not a dog. It is a thing. It will kill you. Get away from it.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Imagine, what do you think Norwegians do when they're watching it? I think they're like, well, fucking spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's harsh, but it probably wasn't the main focus of the target audience. But yeah, it's a good point. So yeah, the poor dog, he just seems friendly, seems like a nice, normal dog. We are gonna, I think so. It becomes quite clear that the US team, it's mentioned, they've been cut off from communications for 2 weeks. Not being able to get a hold of anyone on their radios. One thing I'll mention here, and you'll be able to jump in when it's important, I was really bad beyond McCready at picking up on the names that were going on here for the team.
So was I. Yeah.
Okay. So where necessary, I'll just try and describe the person I'm talking about.
That's a dangerous game you're playing, but I like it.
I might just have to say things like, the guy with the beard that wasn't McCready, he's operating the radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the guy that gets shot in the leg? He seems to take it pretty well, eh?
He does, yeah. You would think you'd be absolutely furious. I mean, what's going on? Why is this guy trying to shoot the dog? Oh, he shot me. But yeah, it's all fine. I was kind of trying to tell, they have several dogs already at this place. that are also huskies. Like, obviously, Antarctica, they're going to be huskies. This dog, I don't think they'd ever seen before, but they're like, well, it's probably fine. We'll just put it with our huskies. It's just a dog. This is all good. I'm probably skipping a wee bit too far ahead.
No, you're fine.
So we see the dog is now in the institute. It's just kind of wandering about. One of the guys who seems very dog friendly, he's all for this dog just wandering about. No concerns. And again,
he's dog friendly. I think he's the dog handler. He's called Clark.
He's certainly dog friendly though.
Well, yeah.
So they know that based on the helicopter markings, that the people that were chasing it were from the Norwegian site. Base, yeah, that's fairly nearby. And they want to go and have a look and see what's going on there, seeing as, two of the people have landed their helicopter and basically died at their site. So they go and check out the Norwegian base, and it's a mess there. We've got bodies, we've got blood everywhere. It's pretty clear some crazy shit's been going down. Again, you don't know where it was at this stage. Is it just a guy or two guys have gone a bit nuts? There's talk about cabin fever, but apparently they've only been there a few weeks. It's a bit too soon for that kind of thing to have really set in and driven anyone crazy. There's clearly been at least one, if not several, murders, and there's nobody in sight. They think that there were 10 initially at the site. We're going to see, how do I describe this? Like an ice tomb of some kind?
Yeah, good way of describing it,
yeah. Excellent. And we see a burned up carcass of some kind.
Yeah.
And, I think that we're going to get to a point where they've seen enough to know that, they're just going to get out of there. Some bad shit's gone down. It's not good. It's not good what they've seen.
Obviously, without them taking this action, the film, I don't think... I was going to say the film wouldn't pan out the way it did, but the dog's there anyway, so it would have.
Yeah.
I just can't... I kind of get... I honestly, and I'd seen it before, but I just couldn't get round the idea that they... What was it? McCready says something like, help me get something. I can't remember what it is. A shovel. That's what it is. Like, help me get a shovel. And I was like, they're going to bury the remains of what looks like two people that has tried to form together and not been very successful. The carcass that you're talking about, I never did it cross my mind that they were going to bring it back.
Yeah.
Did you, or did you just remember that they did?
I didn't, and to be honest, it all made sense as the film went on a wee bit. I didn't really remember the dog as having been instrumental at the start. Right. So I started thinking, why are they shooting at the dog? And then, not being clear in my mind the translation of what was being said about, that's not a dog. But then as we got a little bit into the film, I was like, oh yeah, the dog.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I was a bit slow with all of this. I have to point out as well, I was watching this and doing my notes while my wife was getting ready to go away on a little holiday, and she was packing, which lent to loads of questions being shouted down the stairs and me being like, it's in there, or it's over there. So yeah, it was... I'm going to call it a disrupted viewing. Several stops and starts.
That does not sound like smiling in the dark circumstances, if you ask me. This is a grimacing in the dark.
Yeah, certainly frowning in the dark. Yeah. They're going to bring back that burned up carcass, as you say, and get their doctor fella to do a bit of an autopsy on this. He's confirming no drugs or alcohol in the Norwegian body that was shot.
I was going to say that that's not what you would expect the after effects of drugs or alcohol to.
Yeah, let's call this autopsy number one. This is just the Norwegian. Yes, and the internal organs all seem fine, just a normal set of internal organs. I then switched my focus back to the dog, and I've been like, that dog just bite that guy. And they've got a whole kennel section at their base, and they're going to do the logical thing. They're going to put their new husky in with the other dogs.
You think the dog bit someone?
I thought it looked like the dog bit someone, yeah.
I thought he was just, because it's the guy that got shot, I thought he was a wee bit jumpy and it maybe just brushed against him under the table and he got a fright.
Could have just brushed against him. Could have bitten him, yeah. And yeah, as they're putting this new dog into the kennel area, the other dogs that are already there seem absolutely shit scared. They're not happy with this. And, normally, certainly my limited experience, put one dog next to another, might be scared for a bit, but I'll be like, yeah, I'll come around. It's just another dog, isn't it? You become one of my pals. Didn't strike me as that kind of situation here.
No, you're right.
The sound effects as what would you describe what's going on in that kennel as?
Tentacles are growing and waving.
Yeah, there's a transformation on the go, and the sound effects are horrible.
Aye, they are. I can't even. It's just very insecty.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Large insecty noises.
All very unpleasant. And then I'm sitting there watching it, having not seen this for a few years, and being like, oh yeah, obviously the dog, of course. It's all coming back to me
when
now.
The giant red rope comes flying out its asshole, then you probably started assuming that something wasn't right.
Yeah. So, something's not great with this dog. The other dogs are going to do a bit of a runner, and the dog handler manages to shut the cage with just the infected dog in there. Oh, bad times. We're hearing that Mac wants the flamethrower, which is, just one of those good movie lines.
What a weapon. That's a top 5 weapon, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, if put me in a horror film style pinch, I think I want the flamethrower.
100%.
Yeah.
You can be quite far away from whatever you're shooting at, but it's also likely to take down 99% of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If
only Jack Nicholson had a flamethrower in The Shining, it would have been a very different film.
So just to clarify, you were on Jack Nicholson's side there.
Wasn't everybody? Well, he certainly wouldn't have frozen with that cross-eyed look on his face.
I mean, I suppose his wife was quite irritated at times, but poor wee Tommy though. Right. What we see, you're kind of seeing a dog trapped within a thing.
It's almost like what a bird looks like being born, not being born, but when a bird is cracking out of an egg. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hatching.
There's the word. Yeah. It's like a dog hatching out of another dog or something.
Yeah,
very bizarre.
I think this is why I would struggle to be a writer. I'm struggling with all the descriptive words that I need here to.
It's called The Thing, so I think you're in good company, to be fair.
It's just kind of disgusting all around. What you're seeing, not pleasant. The thing gets burned by the flamethrower, makes a horrendous noise, and now we're going to get to the stage where the autopsy is taking place on the thing. It's I was really impressed by this doctor, because I mean, he can only have access to so much here, but he has given us a hell of a lot of information. It's an organism that imitates other life forms. It was trying to imitate the dog, but it got burned before it was finished imitating them. So, had that been able to go through the process in full, it was just going to look like the dog. But it was going to be the thing. The doctor is very suspicious of the dog handler. And
he's quite an odd guy. He's got a touch of the lurches about him.
Yeah, he is. Now, this strikes me by my notes as one of the moments where I've been called away, because I'm now immediately just talking about the team going into a large crater, like an ice crater.
Right. Right. Okay. I can help you there.
Okay.
So, McCready and the other two that went with him to the Norwegian base recovered a bunch of videotapes, or whatever the recording was on that they brought back, and then they watched a bunch of the videos from the Norwegian base. They discovered that these Norwegian nutters had discovered a giant a giant area within the ice. They had their suspicions, blown it up, and discovered, I think, a spaceship at that point. Yep. So that is why they were doing that.
Excellent. So they're checking this out, and they find an empty ice grave tomb area.
Yeah, I wondered about that. I wasn't 100% sure what that was, so that's good that you've helped me with that. Thank you.
So I think the story as we go is that something was basically buried there and had been released. Right. And that will be our thing. I think one of the team says that he thinks it must have been in ice for thousands of years, and is now out after the Norwegians blew it up and dug it up.
Based on what experience is it? I'm sorry, I really like this film. I don't want to start picking at it, actually.
He just knows. He knows his ice.
It's like, I put ice in my whiskey.
The computer tells them that there is a 75% chance one or more of the team is infected, and that infection would spread fast. I'm always fascinated by old style films and computers. I mean, how does it know?
And that was like 80s ChatGPT. Tell us which one it is. It's you.
If only it stayed that way. Mac is being told that burned remains are not yet dead, and there's still a risk of infection. So you burn this thing up doesn't mean that you've got rid of this. It could still be passed on.
So is this when the one that they brought back starts kind of thawing out and it's like dripping?
Yes.
They got it wrapped up in a rug. So that is disgusting. Get that outside.
Yeah. I mean, they don't really know what they're dealing with, in fairness. I don't think they would have imagined when this all first started happening exactly what this turns out to be. What was it? That's not a real word. Okay. Bennings? There must have been somebody called Bennings.
Yes. Yep.
Has been taken by the thing. He's been infected. They burn him. Well, they don't burn him.
I think Bennings was the one that was shot.
Right.
And one of the guys walks into the room that he was in, and he's just like, the thing's got its tentacles round his neck, like it's strangling him. It's also got something in his mouth. His eyes are closed. It's quite a horrific image.
Yeah. Do you know something generally about this film? I didn't really remember a lot of the visual horror. It was a bit more sort of gruesome than I remembered it being.
Yeah,
a lot
too.
of the scenes.
Yep.
So now we're told Blair is missing. Everyone's looking.
Doctor.
That is the Doctor. Yep. And okay. I'm not helping myself in my notes because I've referred to him as Blair in the previous line. I'm now referring to him as the Doctor.
Okay, Dr. Blair.
The Doctor has a gun, and he's going a bit nuts. He's breaking up all of the equipment in, I don't know what to call it, like the communications, the computer room, all that area. He's got an axe, he's got a gun. This guy's problems right now.
What's your theory as to why he's doing that?
So, I was thinking that he's infected and he doesn't want any outer communications. That was my initial thought.
Right.
What about you?
My thought was that he wasn't infected. He's seen that if they were to get back to, not mainland, but, like away from isolation, that it would take out the majority of Earth's, or all of Earth's population, I think it said, within however many days.
Okay.
So I thought that he was doing it because of that.
He's doing it for the greater good.
Indeed. Yeah. But I think it's supposed to be ambiguous. I think you're maybe supposed to think he's either infected or something else.
Yeah. He shoots one of the guys, doesn't he?
Does he?
Does he shoot somebody? Does he shoot somebody in
the head? No? Oh no,
no.
McCready shoots somebody in the head later on.
Yeah, I think somebody takes a shot. Not a bad one. It's probably not great, but yeah. He's generally going a little bit Jack Torrance in there.
Nice.
And he's on my notes. He has a strength and aggression that is quite surprising when you look at him. I don't know why I felt that necessary, but
I hope that gets back to that guy. Maybe give him a wee pick me up.
He might just come and kick my ass. As a group, they're able to take him down. He runs out of bullets in the gun, and then I think it's Mac runs at him with a table or something like that the axe gets caught in, so he can't swing it anymore. So they manage to take him down. He seems particularly concerned about Clark, the Doctor, and they have to watch Clark closely. I can't remember which one Clark is.
That's the dog handler. That's our Lurch.
Yes, okay. He's always been a bit suspicious about Clark.
Yeah.
There's mention, I think, at this or just beyond this early stage of checking the blood to see who is contaminated. So mixing blood from the person with contaminated blood to see if there's a reaction, and if there is, then there's a feeling that is a contaminated person. But then we kind of move away from that for a little bit because I think somebody's going to wait to look into making it work. We can't do that right away. One of the crew.
I tell you what it is, why they don't do that. They were going to go and test it against all the blood, but they came back and realised that the Doctor, what they think is the Doctor's destroyed all the pouches of blood.
That's it. Yeah.
He's also killed all the dogs, fucked up the helicopter. He's been a busy man.
So one of the many things I like about this film is in full flow by this point, which is even without, I think, all this really mad shit going on, the levels of paranoia and distrust that are setting in now. Yeah. And it would amaze me if that doesn't happen over a missing biscuit in these places. It's bound to. You feel their isolation, and there's, when you hear them reference, they're in Antarctica, there isn't another person for, however many thousands of miles, and they haven't even heard other voices for weeks. I like that. That brought me in. There's quite a few scenes digging into that. Now, this is one of, also, much as I was enjoying all that, one of the moments where I started to think, what is the train of thought here from the group in terms of trying to figure it out? Because we've talked about the bloodstain, which you've covered why they can't do, but it seems to get a bit wild in terms of accusations and theories about who is or who is potentially the thing who is infected. All of I've got in my notes. This might make sense to you. Several of them are being drugged and kept secure while we try and see if any of them have been infected.
Yeah. They give Clark, the dog handler, morphine. They give the doctor morphine, but they take him away and put him in proper isolation.
Yes.
Because I think he was swinging the axe about and all that rather than anything else.
Enough.
They give a couple of guys morphine plus the doctor.
We do see a scene where the doctor's trying to tell Mac that he's doing much better now as he's talking to him through the hatch, and he wants to come back, and he knows he was a wee bit out of control there for a moment. He does seem very calm and very rational as he's speaking to him. Mac isn't having it. He's not letting him back in.
No, it seems like a very quick... It seems desperate, and it's maybe... And the thing is, this is where paranoia ramps up, that he maybe is desperate because he's sat in there on his own. He's already been isolated, and now he's even more isolated from people. He's maybe not infected, and he wants to be with everyone else. He wants to know what's happening. He maybe is infected, and he's trying to bargain, trying to get in. It's really good.
We get a scene where one of the guys finds something of Max that seems to implicate him. I think it's like a named vest or something like that in a certain area, which I was trying to fully confirm in my head exactly why it pointed the finger at him, but I didn't quite get it. Nah,
that was a loose one for me. I still don't really understand that. It's almost like he's found his ripped up pair of pants or something like that, and he's just like, there you go. There's a smoking gun. Now
again, I don't, because of the style of film, I don't mind it, because everyone is going a bit nuts. And it's also...
You can't really trust anybody, that's the thing.
Yeah, and I think also you see the sort of group mentality where somebody throws out a name and everyone will quickly be like, actually, that guy... And that is in full swing here. So part of that is, I think, the cabin fever element, and part of it's probably self-preservation. Everyone's like, well, if we're all looking at him, we're not looking at me, so that's good. Yeah. We get them wanting to burn Mac, but he has explosives and a flare, and he is threatening to burn the whole place up if they come anywhere near him. And he is, by this point, looking fucking insane, Mac. His eyes have gone. If I didn't know better, I would be thinking, he is infected. He is the thing. Where are we now?
So when Mac comes in, one of them keels over?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he has a heart attack or something, isn't it?
Yes.
But he's been making funny noises in that guy.
Yeah. Because they're going to try and revive him with the pads, the shock pads, and they go right through his chest. That was a good jump scare, actually. They go through his chest and the thing comes out of the chest. I enjoyed that.
That was good. His chest essentially turns into a big pair of teeth and chomps the guy's wrists off.
Yeah, well, that was fun. So we're now again in the situation where they can now do the test on the bloods. So the plan that was talked about before, mixing bloods, we're going to do that with everyone, and it turns out to be Palmer, who is the thing.
Yep.
I like the tension as they're going through.
The whole thing is brilliant. The slow way that he's going to put the needle to the blood, it's almost like a Jack in a Box. And then...
Oh, it was great. It was great. And with every passing one where it's not, you're just thinking, it must be more likely it's the next one, because you, as the audience, don't know. You have no idea, which is good.
That's definitely part of the fun, I think.
Yes.
You could easily have done it where you do know, and it completely detracts the dread.
Yeah. We see that Palmer's the thing, and it's just a messy bloodbath. It's like watching the the Evil Dead again. There's absolutely blood everywhere going on here.
Oh, he's like his head turns into teeth this time, and he chomps somebody's head, one of the other guy's heads off.
Yep,
it's insane.
It's a massacre.
It is
very, very messy. And is it the flamethrower they get the thing with at this point? Because I think when he runs out or runs away, he's on fire.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And you've got the old guy who was the original shooter right at the start. He says something funny like, "I know you guys have just been through a sort of traumatic experience, but could you get me the fuck out of here?" Because he's still all tied up.
He's so angry. And the whole way through the blood check-in, Mac was so sure it was him. And he's basically saying it to him every single time. I can understand why he's pissed off.
Yeah, that's great. That.
So Mac's attention has now... he's basically... I think there's something he says that basically indicates he knows they're not making out here alive. They're done. Their objective now has to be to stop the thing at all costs. So he says they cannot let it freeze again. So they have to basically warm up the environment, which just means they're just going to start blowing shit up everywhere.
Yeah. I wonder how he worked that out. That didn't even occur to me that it was... that if it couldn't get itself to where other people are to continue spreading, then the other act to self-preservation was to freeze itself. That would not occurred to me at all.
That's with your fella telling you that it had been frozen for thousands of years.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. He knew. He was the key. We find out the generator is gone. This is where we get the Doctor reappearing, and he puts his hand like in Gary's face.
Yeah, it's a proper messed up scene.
Yeah,
the way that he just that's quite horror-y. The way he just slides his fingers and they just attach.
It felt quite David Cronenberg to me. It's absolutely disgusting. We get the Mac is running from the thing and it is chasing him, but under the ground, so you just see the ground popping up, which I liked as a visual. And Mac throws an explosive at it and blows that motherfucker up. Now, we know Mac is still with us at this point in time. We're then going to see Childs, who Mac isn't really trusting, but it's just the two of them. He says he went off looking for someone. It did seem a wee bit suspicious to me, I'm not going to lie. He seemed to miss a hell of a lot that went on. He reappears and... I think it's dawned on them now. There's no way for them to survive. They're sitting out in the freezing cold. I think they've got a bottle of whiskey. They're just going to drink that, and it just says, "What is it like? What do we do now? Just going to sit here for a while, or something like that." So they're just going to have a drink and freeze to death.
Yeah. Do you think either of them is infected? Come the end of it. Infected's not the right word. That's what we've been using, though. But is any of them the alien? Do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised by either of them, to be honest. I mean, Child's going away and reappearing was weird, and I think it's probably fair by this point in time to have a bit of a suspicion now of Mac. Yeah. But I think. The interesting point about that is if they are, then it's going to get its way because they're going to freeze.
Nice. Well, one of them's still got at least one, if not both of them, have still got a fire.
True.
What you got, flamethrower?
Yeah. So if they knew, they could burn up the other one. But if they just play it cool, if you're the thing, you just play it cool here. That's your way out.
Yeah. I wonder, there's definitely evidence for MacReady being it because he's just destroyed the humans' whole camp.
Yeah. Did you said something about a rabbit hole? that you went down.
Yeah, given the cult following and status that the film's got, there's a lot of different fan theories, and one of the fan theories is that MacReady's been the thing from the very start of the film, obviously after the Norwegians appear, and pretty much everything he did destabilised the humans, but I think the blood scene, I think what he all did with the blood scene goes against that, so I'm not quite sure of that one.
Okay. So some of the things I really enjoyed about this film, the effects, like you referenced the effects earlier, just being that sort of old school effect style, just brilliantly gory in the right kind of way, I think, for a film like this.
Yeah.
And I also felt
they must have been groundbreaking for the time. Those effects are incredible.
Yeah, there was something about this was it. The effects production was led by a 22-year-old named Rob Bottin, and the work hospitalised him for a period of time.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And it says they created the monsters based on H.P. Lovecraft writings, but also things that he'd saw in his nightmares.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I like that.
I love that.
I like that. I also thought within the film, the isolation, the paranoia were fantastic, because I felt like you were there with them through that. Even when the most irrational things are being said and done, you could understand it, which I like.
Yeah, I really like your point that in an environment like that, somebody using somebody else's milk or moving something that somebody's put down somewhere and tidied away, like something like that would escalate to the point of arguing and blows. So for this situation, a lot of the you can't really question any of the decisions, really.
Did you have any favourite scenes?
My favourite scene was definitely the whole blood testing.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, it's just like a perfect scene, I think, as far as building up dread, anticipation, anxiety, and then you get proper payoff with the blood and the gore and a proper jump scared at that one. It was the only one that got me in the film, but that was brilliant.
Yeah. I got a few facts about this.
Okay.
The initial special effects budget for the film was $200,000. Ended up costing $1.5 million.
Oh wow!
In
1982.
Yeah, it's a lot of money then, and it's a lot to go over by. The film was a box office failure, but it became a cult classic with VHS video sales and rentals. Right. And several endings were considered to the film, including it being clear that MacReady had survived the whole thing, but John Carpenter preferred what he described as a ambiguous, bleak ending.
Oh, I wonder if we would have got more if it had been clear. Well, I suppose given the fact that it flopped, it probably buried its own self, its own grave. I read that Carpenter was supposed to do Firestarter after this, and given how badly this performed, he got the job taken off him, which is crazy.
Critical reception. Our guy Roger Ebert.
Oh yeah, what did he say?
Not a fan. No.
Come on, Rog.
He called it a disappointing barf bag movie. He said it focused too much on grotesque visual effects and lacked character development.
That's insane.
He said,
what a take.
He said it lacked suspense and narrative. Now,
what suspense?
That he's missed that whole scene if he thought it lacked suspense.
That's blown me away. But given what he said about the Evil Dead. That's wow. I feel hurt.
I was going to mention we can talk about the sequel because I think we both the prequel because I think we both watched that. But I was going to mention are going to ask any films you thought of that were inspired by
Oh,
the thing.
yes, I've got a few. So I think generally the paranoia stuff could be taken and put into anything in a whodunit type situation.
Yeah.
It Follows was one that came to mind.
Nice. Yep.
I don't remember watching it, but I was looking up. But apparently, Hateful Eight is Tarantino.
Oh, okay.
Is a huge fan of the thing, and he wanted to make a similar type film, but in his own vein. And I think the Hateful Eight, obviously, Kurt Russell's in the Hateful Eight, but it's also got that situation of a bunch of strangers in one sort of isolated space that's surrounded by snow.
Yeah.
The Faculty.
Yes, it was the first one that sprang to my mind because I remembered the checking to see which one of them it was by snorting the
That's right.
powder. Yeah, that's directly taken from this.
Has to be, eh?
Yeah.
That's also a really great film.
I need to rewatch that. I haven't watched that for years. I loved that film.
Yeah, me too. And probably not an obvious one, but 30 Days a Night is isolated, set in the snow and the ice and the dark and all that sort of stuff. What about yourself?
A couple of other ones. Faculty immediately sprang to mind for me. I thought when I was thinking about the kind of partly about the darkness and the isolation, The Descent was one that sprang to mind for me.
Nice. Yep.
And then when it came to the like paranoia and distrust and things like that, 10 Cloverfield Lane was one I thought about as well.
That's a great shout. Yeah.
There's a lot of, I think, claustrophobic films out there, which loads of them will have been inspired by this as well. Let's talk about The Thing, the prequel from 2011, which, do you know, I said this to you in a message earlier. I think the main reason I'd never watched this was because when I saw it was called The Thing, I thought it was a remake.
Yeah, well, why did they call it The Thing?
Yeah.
Like, just call it, I don't know, The Thing Camp Norway or something. I don't know.
So when you said prequel the other week, I was like, oh. So I watched the 2011 film before I watched The Thing. And that actually worked out quite nicely, I thought, for the tie-ins. I really quite enjoyed The Thing 2011.
Yeah, me too. I think I'd seen it before, and I think I had really low expectations going in to watch it now, and that helped massively. I think that's, a prequel to the 1982 Thing coming out. Expectations would have been ridiculously high. Yeah. What I think is the best thing you can say about it is that it perfectly complements the 1982 film and leads directly. You could keep watching them, and they lead on absolutely perfectly. And the attention to detail, as far as the way that bodies are left and the camp is left and all that sort of stuff, is perfect. So from that point of view, it's excellent. But on its own, you could watch that without having seen the 1982 version. It's got a really strong female lead, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad you did as well.
Yeah, it was definitely worth watching, and I'm really glad you mentioned it, because I just don't think I would have ever watched it. So yeah. Now, what is your rating for The Thing?
Oh, I think, my rating is 5 smiles out of 6.
Excellent. My rating is also 5 smiles out of 6.
Nice.
I don't think it's quite there with some of the classics, but I think it's a very good film and really good fun. Like I could put this on again in a year's time and just really enjoy it again.
I'm sure. Same. 100%. I think that it really, really surprises me that there's not more of them, because you can take this and put it in any setting.
Yeah, true.
Any setting where there's people isolated.
Mhm.
You know, like it could be in a school, it could be anywhere.
Yeah.
So it really does surprise me that there's not more. But yeah, I'm the same as you. This could be a thing. Watch a bit more often. But saying that, I'm glad I've not watched it in years, because when it came to watching it there, it was all pretty fresh.
Yeah. And I think it's probably even longer ago that I last watched the next film that we're going to be covering.
Oh, aye.
Which I'm very much looking forward to.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to be watching The Fly next with Jeff Goldblum. Is it David Cronenberg film?
Yes.
I think it is.
Yes.
And that will be covering our body horror subgenre.
Yes.
Which will be another one we've been really looking forward to. I think we feel like The Thing and The Fly will make for quite a good double header.
Yeah. It's a very good double header, and I think there's some films that we've covered for this that I'd watched probably a year or two ago when we think of things like Halloween and maybe Jaws as well. But these two, I think, a huge part of the appeal. Not only do I believe they are very good films, but I'm just really looking forward to going back for the first time in a long time to watch them.
Nice. I had a couple more thoughts about The Thing that I'd jotted down here. I know I'm preaching to converted here as far as Keith David. Obviously, he is the star of the show, but
okay, yeah.
One of my big takeaways was I wish John Carpenter had made Blade in the 1980s, and with Keith David starring as Blade.
No.
He's got a real sort of like don't fuck with me attitude.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm just now thinking it's an awful long time since I saw Blade.
Don't worry, we'll be on our vampire journey soon enough. We'll get it going. And also on The Thing. So The Thing is based on, I think what was that? It's like a 30s film. It's like The Thing that came from, I can't remember. And that is based on a novel. And then they made a bunch of graphic novels following The Thing. They made another graphic novel based in like sort of Vikings period where The Thing wreaks havoc during that time as well.
Okay.
There's also a PS2 game apparently, which I never knew of. And I found a short story online that someone had written, and they wrote it from the point of view of The Thing.
Oh, wow.
It was quite interesting, and like, if you're that way inclined, it's quite a good, fun thing to read, but it's totally different.
Okay. That does sound interesting, actually. Yeah. Have you watched anything since we last spoke? Anything particularly interesting? Anything of note?
Nothing horror, don't think.
Okay.
But if you'd allow me to go beyond, then I'll tell you what I've...
Go beyond?
Well, actually, I was just... Before we started recording, we were talking about the film... Was it called Friendship or Friendships?
Yes.
With Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson, and that's definitely at least horror adjacent.
Yeah.
If nothing else. And that's... I would recommend that one, actually. That was good fun. There's some great one-liners in it. Ridiculous and absurd, but some great one-liners in it. I watched Garden State.
I've not seen that for a very long time.
Aye. And I'd been watching those old Scrubs, and I thought I'll stick that and see how that's aged, because that was one of the ones that was pretty good when you were a bit younger.
What's it like now?
A bit self-indulgent, a little bit, I would have said. Yeah. And Natalie Portman's character is almost satire,
Right.
I would say, and how over the top. And but at the time, it was a really good film.
Yeah.
That's about it for me.
Okay.
What about you?
So off the back of watching The Thing 2011, I then went and watched 10 Cloverfield Lane for the first time in a while. It's really good. John Goodman is fantastic in that film. And I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead might actually just be a really underrated actress.
Yeah.
She's strong in her roles. Yeah, so watched that, really enjoyed that. And then last night, I think I blame my wife for going on a little holiday. I just decided at about 10 o'clock, I want to watch a horror tonight. And I ended up watching Wolf Creek.
Nice. The Australian one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
But enjoyable in its own way. And I'm now wishing I'd watched The Faculty, but I have many more nights where I could watch The Faculty. She's not back until Friday.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
I think all the Josh Hartnett horrors you could watch. Or just Josh Hartnett films.
Sorry, I lost you for a second there.
Oh, I was waxing lyrical about Josh Hartnett.
Okay.
Oh, bugger. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Have you ever watched the Wolf Creek? There's a TV series. Was it on Amazon Prime? Maybe?
Yeah, I've never watched it. I noticed it. I think there's that, and there's a second film, which I think is just a bit more... It goes a bit over the top with the brutality.
So does the TV show.
Okay. Yeah, because that'll be the thing. It'll assume that everyone has already seen the first film, which kind of gives you a little bit of the character. So you don't need to do that again. You can just lean into the violence.
Balls to the wall, yeah.
Yeah. But I really like the first film. I'm not sure I would go any further than that.
Aye. It's the scary thing about that is it's based on a true story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is
quite unsettling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
okay.
Is that our last John Carpenter? I think it is. I think
it will be for now.
And exactly until the next time.
Yeah.
I wonder. I'll need to try and find out what he thinks of the prequel. He's very opinionated on everything. So
yeah, he probably hates it, but that's fine. That's okay.
There was rumours. Remember, I was saying there was rumours they were going to make a sequel, but he didn't want to. Wherever it was that was it like British Columbia or something like that they filmed it. He didn't. But you could just do what they did with Jurassic Park and bring it other places, John.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a shame. Actually, it would have been interesting.
Do you think if The Thing landed smack bang in the middle of New York City, that would be a good premise for a film, or do you think there would be too much gore and splatter for it to sort of hold up?
Yes, but it would. You'd have to have your moments. You'd have to have maybe about 10 minutes of a lot of gore and splatter. But you could maybe then tell your story beyond that. You'd have to get through that bit, though.
What you could have is for that. Why do we keep fantasy book and films now? If that's the right term, what you could have is before the credits, you have it landed in New York, and it just spreads like wildfire, and then after the credits, you get 100 years later. No, not 100 years. Say 15, 20 years later, and we follow a group of survivors.
Yeah, you could do it that way. I wonder, see how we discuss ideas for films. Do you think when we watch Blair Witch Project, it's going to go to the next step where it'll be well, we could just get a camera? Or, we have phones. Why are we not just making a film?
Yeah. I think what I would say is careful what you wish for, because that is the sort of nonsense that I will try and convince you to do. Well, saying that, there's a guy that's a YouTuber who's like a film critic. I don't know if you ever heard him, Chris Stuckman.
Don't recognise the name.
And then he was, very critical of films and all that sort of stuff. And he ended up making his own film. Have you heard of it? It's called Shelby Oaks.
I've heard of something called Shelby Oaks. I've not seen it.
It's just a difficult thing. That must be a difficult thing. It's a bit like one of these pundits going and playing for Man U this season or something like that.
Yeah.
Coming on with a beer belly and falling over and everything.
You're probably doomed before you start, really.
But to be fair, I thought it was quite a good film. I quite enjoyed it, but
okay.
Yeah.
I've noticed it somewhere. I remember seeing those words and then thinking, nah,
not for me. Fair enough. Right, we will we'll go and prep ourselves for Jeff Goldblum transforming.
Yeah, some of it's going to be pretty gross.
Yeah. I can immediately think of us talking about the substance probably at some point during that.
Yeah, that seems inevitable.
Have you ever seen the James Gunn film? Is it called Slither? Not that Slither with Sharon Stone.
Yeah,
the other one.
I have. It's kind of like a comedy body horror.
Yeah, splatty. Also quite splatty. And
yeah, I've seen it once, and then I remember maybe a couple of years ago thinking, "Oh, I should watch that again." I couldn't find it anywhere.
Damn it!
Yeah, I even would have been willing to pay, and I couldn't see it anywhere.
Son of a bitch! I was looking for something, and I had the same, but it wasn't quite as cool as yours. I was looking for, after watching Garden State, I was like, "Oh yeah, he made another one with Rachel Bilson called The Last Kiss. I might watch that too." But
denied.
Alas, I couldn't find it. What a shame. Right, let's get on to more important and interesting things like the Fly in 2 weeks' time.
Fantastic.
Okay, I am very much in the dark here. Can you even see me?
Just about. I can just about see you smiling, but yeah.
Okay. Well, keep on smiling in the dark, Adam, and
you too.
I hope you don't grimace too much. And watch Hunters of Horrors whilst you're got the chance.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll hear all about it next time. Okay, bye-bye.
Excellent.